Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Roster Review Edition. And this might be the biggest roster review episode thus far. That's right, with the Newcastle Knights taking on the Sydney Roosters this Sunday at Allianz Stadium. But there has been, the rugby league gods have blessed us. We have just been cursed with injury, but the man that is making his return, you know him, you love him. It's our boy Dylan Brown, the man who is destined to bring us a decade of dominance. He is named back in the squad. How exciting is that? But that has caused an absolute reshuffle of the spine. That's right, our boy Razor Sharpe back at fullback. Huge talking point. Start dropping your comments. What do you make of that? So huge game. The Roosters obviously overcome a 16-point deficit against the Sharks over in Perth. They've been very shaky, very unconvincing in 2026 thus far, the Roosters. But is that going to be the half of football they needed to finally click into gear? Because they do have a star-studded roster. Let's hope that's not the case. But look, plenty to sink our teeth into as we look at the names that Trent Robertson and Justin Holbrook have named. Not only will we be doing that, we'll be taking a look at this week's player battle matchup brought to you by Metalman, our grain-fed brewery lock-it-ins. Make sure you start typing those in the comments section, as well as answering your Get Out Alive fire safety training burning questions. So, battlers, sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Justin Holbrook outlook of our round 6 clash against the Roosters, baby. Let's go! All right, time to chew on that. Now, I want to know, you comment away, I want opinions on this matter. Please, if you're watching the live stream now, comment away. We have to talk about it. It's the news on everyone's lips at the moment. He's done it again. Phil Gould coming out and saying some very, very complimentary things about a player that has been circling, that his club that he works for, who he's a general manager for, has been circling Jareem Buller, who we played against last weekend. Now, I'm going to read from you verbatim, word by word, by what Phil Gould has been caught saying on TV. Quote, "That's an athlete. Gee whiz, he's going to be a good player. He's just creamy, so fluid, beautiful, like warm apple pie on a Sunday." Now, I have been very, very, I've been very vocal in my disapproval of the mix between people that work for rugby league clubs or in a professional capacity in the league also doing things in media. Now, looking at it, did a little bit of research. A lot of other professional sports around the globe do not allow this at all. And it does blur the lines between commentary and what's the word I'm looking for, Louise, when you're trying to court someone, you get what I'm trying to say? There's a word.
Like coax them?
Nah, not coax them. Like from a distance, you're saying complimentary things with them in a
manipulate?
Yeah, it is manipulation. Manipulation is not quite the right word I'm looking for, but regardless, look, he's done this before. They obviously brought in anti-tampering rules, certainly surrounding the whole Lockie Galvin situation. And I think Phil Gould got caught out. Shout out to Michael Chamis. Great footage when he called him out. And there was that little bit of a stash. And Phil Gould sort of publicly denying that he wasn't sort of trying to publicly court Lockie Galvin and influence his decision to come to the Bulldogs. I think we're seeing this outplay once more. Now, you let me know. I genuinely think it's a little bit unprofessional. Now, look, to have people that hold club positions also backing up and doing media. Like, is there seriously that little a talent out there that we can't have rules in place to go, you know what, Phil, you know, you've done it all in the game, mate. You've done it all, you know, between coaching, premiership winner, origin, everything. You know, he'll forget more about rugby league than a lot of us will ever know about the great game. However, the optics just look terrible. They just do. They look bad, really bad. And I love Wraith and Asta. And I got a I don't know if I feel so strongly about this, but Wraith and Asta being a player agent. And do you remember all the noise around Cam Munster like 2 or 3 years ago? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? And here we are on, probably the biggest rugby league show throughout the week on Rugby League NRL 360 on Fox. He's the host of the show. He's the player agent for that player. And he's having to sit there and play dumb, pretending like I don't know what's happening. Like literally, there's only 2 people on the planet that knows what Cam Munster is thinking or going to do, and that's you and him. And you got to sit there and pretend like you don't know. It's just, I don't know. What are the battlers? Are they with me, or are they like, no, this is a storm in a teacup. We don't care. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think you got to be in clubland, or you got to be in media. When the lines get blurred, I don't like it. It's too much grey area.
Said it's like insider trading to a point.
It is a little bit, because you're using your platform to fuck. I wish I could think of the words on the top. It was like that word perspective the other night, Lou. I can't think of the word at the moment.
You'll wake up at 2 a.m. and remember.
I will. Or I'm going to be up till 2 a.m. trying to think of it. But yeah, it's sort of a little bit of subtle manipulation to kind of put it out into the universe. Like, oh, wow, Phil Gould really likes me and da-da-da-da-da. It's just, I don't know. It's not kosher. It just doesn't sit well with me. I don't like it. I don't want to sound like an angry boomer just sort of ranting about it, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I think, what are we doing? It's 2026. We're a big professional billion-dollar sport. What are we doing having guys that work in clubland, work in media at the same time? It's icky. It's wrong. It's yuck. I don't like it. Get rid of it. No, thank you. That's my chew on that this week to Phil Gould. So, battlers, if you want to chew on a hot take, you might as well chew on something absolutely elite. And that's this stuff here, beach jerky, quality beef jerky that will hit you harder than pastrami solo hits Josh Curran. All right. Bold flavors. All right. Good stuff. Game day fuel. Go visit them at beachjerky.net. Go get yourself a bag. It's seriously good stuff. All right, battlers. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're giving this a big old thumbs up if you're watching the live stream. If you're listening to the podcast after the fact, give us a big old 5-star review. What are you doing? I'm sick and tired of telling you. This is your final warning. Go do it right now. And wherever you're wasting your time on social media, make sure you go find us. We're everywhere. Keep saying it with social media herpes. You cannot get rid of us. It's impossible to get rid of us. You can rub all sorts of social media cream on us. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to keep popping up somewhere else. All right, so you might as well follow us. And yeah, if you want to support us here at the United, you can do so by clicking in the show notes and finding our Patreon for as little as $5 per month, which gets you fuck all nowadays. What does $5 get you, Lou? Fucking half an Easter egg, an egg cup of coffee. Can you even buy 2-minute noodles for $5 anymore? Probably not. Hey? What are coins used for nowadays? Feels like they're even more useless than ever. Anyways, and for $10 a month, you can come on into the Club Nightanium, baby. Seriously good stuff to the exclusive Discord channel. If you're a diehard Knight supporter, that is the tier for you. And for $25 a month, baby, you can join the highly exclusive, the competitive Lock It In Championship brought to you by Grain Fed Brewery. All right, battlers. Let's do it. No news. Again, I'm sick and tired of talking about injuries. So you know what? I'm not at all disappointed. There's no news this week. All right, so let's leave that there. Let's do it. Let's take a look at the teams that Justin Holbrook and Trent Robinson have named ahead of this clash. Did I say round 6 earlier too? It's round 7, isn't it? Are we at round 7?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Where's time gone? Seriously, it was 7 weeks ago. I was in Vegas. What the fuck? That is crazy. All right, let's do it. At fullback, Fletcher Sharpe, comment away. You let me know what you make of that decision. We're going to circle back there in a minute with Sandon Smith and Dylan Brown linking back up to be our halves combination for this game, with Phoenix Crossland at hooker, moving across to the Roosters, James Tedesco with new recruit Daly Cherry Evans at 5'8", with Sam Walker at halfback, and new recruit Reece Robson at half. Now, Fletcher Sharpe, I'm in two minds about this. I completely and utterly understand it from a perspective of look, last week the left edge it got a bath. It was a bit rough. So if you're looking at it from a point of view to go, we just need to shore up that left edge. We're missing Brady, we're missing Dylan Lucas. We just got to get two guys that are going to defend really, really well, plug him in and do a job. And if that means you're going to want to get a guy that's got a lot of first grade experience and fitness in Fletcher Hunt, who's played a stack of games there, and you want to keep as many of those guys on the field as possible, I understand that. I understand where you're going, you know what, let's put him there, opposed to bringing in a James Schiller or a Kyle McCarthy or someone like that. They might have been killing it at Reggie's, but I don't know, they might have their trepidations about dropping them in the first grade against, the Roosters. I said they've been clunky, but they're a sleeping giant at the moment. They're their own worst enemy, but if they click into gear, seriously, their roster top to bottom, they should be a top 4 team. They are probably the most underperforming team in the competition thus far. I get it from that sense, but on the flip side, I don't know. I was kind of hoping we built ourselves in a position where we're no longer chopping and changing halves. No matter what happens, our halves are going to remain the halves. Because at the Knights, we've had more halves combinations in the last 6 years than any other club by a fair whack. I think we've clocked over 70, which is wild. But so I don't know. I was kind of thinking the more game time that Fletcher, Sharpe and Dylan Brown play together in the halves, if they get 2, 3, 4 games together before Kalen Ponga gets back, that's even better. And Fletcher Hunt has certainly given us no reason to think that he can't continue to do a good job as well. More times than that, he's done really, really well for us. So I don't know. I'm in two minds. Give me some comments, Lou. Give me some, either side is the argument. What are people saying about the Fletcher Sharpe back to fullback this week?
Brenton said, I think Sharpe's leg has been improving week on week. And LeBron James said, love Sharpe at fullback. Needs his hands on everything. But Daniel said, risky using Sharpe at fullback with his knee. Hopefully it's up to the extra workload and jumping.
That's a very good point too.
Also, Adrift said, Sharpe's been a little slow though since the knee injury. Is fullback really a good idea?
That's a very good point. Though I will say though, like it looked like last week. I certainly didn't see any footage of him grasping it at the knee or whatnot, because it was against the Raiders, wasn't it, when he hit the deck a little bit awkwardly and it looked like he was in all sorts of pain. But I think at this point we just got to live with the fact that knee is going to be hampering him all year. I don't think it's ever going to be fully recovered until postseason. It's just going to have to be something that's going to be managed. I'm pretty sure NRL physio mentioned, I think Reece Walsh suffered a very similar injury and just basically had to manage it for the remainder of the season. So I think that's the kind of territories we are in. I'll have to put a poll out because, I don't know. I can really see both sides. I just would have liked to have seen us marinate this halves combination, because this should be the halves combination for the future. And I think we've got enough quality and enough depth to cover other positions where we don't need to change the spine. But I could be completely and utterly wrong. I'll be flip-flopping on this one. But, is there any more sort of comments suggesting that, they're strongly agreeing or one way or the other if they think that's a good thing or not? Or
Brenton also said, I don't mind the lineup Holbrook has made this week. Sharpe will play like a ball roaming half. Yeah,
that's a very good point. He's going to play a very different style of fullback than that of Fletcher Hunt. I know physically both very similar athletes, but you're right. He's going to be certainly more ball dominant, and we would hope that would be the case. And obviously being a bit more of an experienced campaigner, he's going to be demanding the ball more so than not. It is exciting. Don't get me wrong. We love seeing Fletcher Sharpe back at fullback. When he burst on the scene covering for Kalen Ponga, right from his debut, just killed it. We've been blessed to have some absolutely incredible fullbacks coming to make their debut for us the last few seasons. So, I don't know. I'm a bit flip-floppy on this one, but.
The leaguey said, as an opposition fan, Sharpe at fullback scares me more than anyone else in your side, bar Ponga.
That's good to know, Leaguey. Shout out to you, mate. Shout out to you and shout out to the little voicemail. We're going to be playing that in a little bit. Terrible prediction, but a prediction nonetheless. But yeah,
Also, sorry, Tompy said, I'm a bit torn. I wanted Sharpe 6 because as soon as KP is back, I think it'll go back to the way it was around 1 to 2.
Oh, absolutely it will. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no doubt. It'll be back to the Vegas spine for sure. No doubt whatsoever. Yeah, but I do understand, if that right edge of the Roosters kicks in a gear, with Rob Toya and Mark Nwanganitawase, you're going to want to show that. We don't want to repeat what happened last week. And that's a lot to cover with Brady Best and Dylan Lucas out. Might have, obviously forced Justin Holbrook's hand there a little bit. But yeah, as I was sort of saying, actually, before we move on to Fletcher, before we move on to the Roosters, Sandon Smith and Dylan Brown. Let's talk about Dylan Brown at the moment. Wow, how exciting is it? It feels like a fever dream, doesn't it? It feels like so long ago since we got that win against Manly and he left the field at halftime. And even seeing him over in Vegas, it just feels like I'm going to be reliving this all over again. It feels like I've wrapped up my Christmas parcel. I'm going to reopen it all over again and get excited. Seriously stoked. He's just going to be, if you saw the interview with Stephen Hales, he hit the nail on the head. Said it beautifully. He's just going to be a guy that comes into the team and elevate everyone. I'm just so looking forward to it. I'm loving seeing Parramatta fans. Have you seen all the memes about them missing Dylan Brown now? And I got fucking pizzled by them. Pizzled. What absolute hypocrites they are. They're coming out going, oh, we miss Dill because their club's an absolute dumpster fire at the moment. So, egg on your face. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to, especially that combination he had with Sandon Smith. Even that one game they played together, they look really, really slick. Sandon, of course, he's going to be want to play a really good game against his old club. What an absolutely superb job he has done in the absence of Dylan Brown. And I have no doubt he's going to slot in and do a great job there at 5'8" once more. A little less responsibility on his shoulders, so he might be free to run the ball a little bit more. So I'm all for that as well. So I'm sure Sandon's in for a really good game as well. Moving across, obviously, to our opposition. A clunky spine, very similar areas to what we saw. I keep comparing this team to the 2018 Roosters. When Cooper Cronk and Teddy came to town, they looked clunky, and there was, I can still remember all the pundits going, what have they done? There's too many superstars. It's not going to work. Trent Robinson's lost his goddamn mind. And before you know it, they won back-to-back premierships. This team is going to work it out. They just are. They've got the coach to do it. They've got the staff to do it. They're a massive club. They just, they have huge expectations and huge standards. They're just going to work it out. There's no way this team is not going to play finals football. This will honestly be one of the worst teams to not play finals football ever. Unless it's like just some huge injury run like we're going through or Parramatta's going through at the moment. I can't see this team getting their shit together sooner rather than later. Much like I was saying against the Bulldogs. And didn't they vindicate me? What did I keep saying in the roster review show? This is a team that's, it's not a matter of if, it's when they sort their shit out and they put it to the Panthers. So let's hope for our sake, this isn't the week that the Roosters finally click into gear. I know they've had a lot of handling errors. They're very clunky. They're their own worst enemy. But if they sort that shit out, if they complete quite high, get those errors down, that's going to be a fucking scary football team. So let's just hope they play like the Roosters in the first half against the Sharks, not the second half. All right? Fingers crossed. That's going to go a long way for us. But yeah, a quality spine. Look, they're still trying to work out the DCE Sam Walker thing. I don't know how you do that. I'm not even sure if Trent Robinson's really worked out how to do that at the minute. But yeah, again, they'll work it out. Let's just hope it's not this week. All right, let's move out to the outside backs. For the Newcastle Knights, Dominic Young playing against his old club. That sucks to say, but he's back with us, so it's all good. And Dane Gagai on the right edge. Fletcher Hunt, obviously from fullback, taking up that left center position with their boy, the G-Train, Greggy Mazu. Moving across to the Roosters, we have Daniel Tupou and Hugo Savala on that left edge with Rob Toya and Mark Nwanganitawase on the right. Now, much like what I was saying about the West Tigers last week, having a not so great statistic and having a very lopsided edge, leaking a bunch of points, the Roosters are not as bad as that of the Tigers, They have conceded 50% of their tries thus far. So of the 24 tries they have conceded, 12 of them have been on that right edge, which is a bit odd, given that Rob Toy is selected for Origin. I think more so on his defensive capabilities than anything else, which is a bit strange. But anyways, so look, with the left edge, our lethal left edge stripped, Brady Best and Dylan Lucas gone. Can we recapture that? Can we, can Justin Holbrook, again, going against his, former employee in the Roosters, can they continue to exploit that with a makeshift left edge? Possibly. Be interesting to see what they can do. I know the right has been pretty good this year. We've certainly been more right side dominant, I feel, this year than we have been on the left. Well, clearly with Dominic Young, I think he's second, behind Milky Jenkins. I think Dominic Young's second outright try scorer in the NRL at the moment, 8 tries. If my memory serves me right, it might be 9 now. But yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind. 50% of the tries are leaked on the left edge for the Roosters. But yeah, the big test is going to be on that left edge. Can we get that sorted out? Because we absolutely cannot have a repeat of what we saw against the West Tigers. And I think this is going to be a really good opportunity. Let's play it, Lou. Let's have a little listen to what Leaguey had to send in. Shout out.
Hey guys, the Leaguey here. Now look, just before the final fight of Rocky 3, Clubber Lang is asked what his predictions are for the bout. And he goes, prediction, pain. And I look at that edge of Fletcher Hunt and Greg Margie trying their best to contain Robert Toya and Mark Nwangiti-Tuase all game long. And unfortunately for the Newcastle Knights, my prediction is pain. Roosters 13 plus, baby. No doubt about it.
What a terrible prediction. Hey, I give you your debut on this show and you lay that shit on me, Leaguey. Unbelievable.
When the show started, he said the jersey needs a little warm white on it.
I actually should have worn one of our away jerseys, shouldn't I? Fucking tricolours. Yeah, well, I feel like, you would think Trent Robinson's certainly going to target that makeshift left edge. It makes sense. And that's ultimately why probably Justin Holbrook's looking at going, you know what, we just need to get the best defensive players that are going to plug in and do a job there. We just need to shore that left edge up. We don't need that left edge like we have had to do in the past to score us a bunch of points. It just needs to be steely in defense, and we'll work out something else. We'll be right side dominant, whatever it is. But, yeah, going to be interesting to watch. Obviously, Mark Nwangiti-Tuase, a freak of an athlete. He should be scoring more tries this season than he already has. But, unfortunately, he can be a guy that just comes up with the most freakish plays out of nowhere. We've seen him. Like, some of the tries he scored last year were just fucking miraculous. They'll be played for generations. They were crazy good. Crazy good athlete there. So, one to watch. I know whenever the Roosters start shifting right, I think we'll all collectively have our ass cheeks clinched, just going, come on, boys, let's just shore up that edge. We don't want to see what we saw last week against the Tigers. We cannot go through that once more. All right, let's do it. Let's move into the forwards for the Newcastle Knights. Tommy Cant, he's in. I called it. I got the receipts. Didn't I say that, Lou? People are asking me who's going to fill in there. I fucking nailed it with Tommy Cant. It wasn't that really much of a hot take. He came in off the bench last week when there was a bit of a reshuffle there on that edge. But Tommy Cant, he's going to be on the running side. How good's that? Jermaine McEwen once more on the right edge. Trey Mooney and JSAF starting props with our boy Matty Croker. I was going to say Lockie Croker. Jesus, where did that come from? Matty Croker in the lock forward position. Moving across to the Roosters with Angus Crichton and Sia Wong in the second row with Naful White and Lindsay Smith, the dirty Queenslander, at prop, and Victor Radley after making his return last week. Funny tidbit about Victor Radley. Now, on my flight from Sydney to San Francisco, 14 hours, I believe it is, so your boy wanted to get a bit of shut-eye. Of course you want to get a bit of shut-eye, right? So I've watched a movie or two, whatever, and I'm sitting there going, you know what? The cabin lights are all turned off. Everyone's it's a bit of quiet. Now, I will have you know, I upgraded my seat in economy. I got that one on the wing where it's just infinite legroom. I had more legroom on that plane than anyone.
I suggested that strongly because I'd done the TikToking and did the research, and I know you would not be able to sit for at least 2 hours with how tall you are. So I said, pay the extra money, Lincoln. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I do thank you. It did cost me probably about an extra $600-700 a lot, but it was worth it. When you're my size, 6'6", like 2 meters tall. Yeah, I can get away with it for the couple of hour flight. That's not too bad, but yeah, that would have been a suffer. So yeah, shout out to you. That was a good call. So look, everyone congregates. If you haven't done a long distance international flight before, you get up every couple of hours, you're stretching your legs, you know, that's just what you do. And this is kind of the communal area. I get that. But here I am trying to sleep, got my neck pillow on, the rest of it. And I keep hearing this bloke, just this woman and this bloke chatting continually. And you know what? I can't help but eavesdrop. I literally can't help. I'm forced to listen to this conversation because it's just nothing but silence, but these two people talking. And I just peek my eye open, and it's fucking Victor Radley and this American bird, and they're talking about all kinds of stuff about rugby league and whatnot. Whilst I appreciate him on the plane, I would have liked a bit of shut-eye, Victor. So next time, if you can keep it down a bit, mate, or go somewhere else on the plane and go talk to that American bird. All right? Yeah. One little funny thing with Victor Radley. Anyways, let's move. What am I saying? Tommy Cant coming in. I like that. I don't think anyone's going to get too much pushback. If you feel like you would have preferred someone else, I know we got big Francis Manulailua on the bench. Would you have liked to see him throwing the keys? Probably not. If we're going to be leaning into the more defensive style of play, Tommy Cant was the obvious decision. Has he got the attacking ceiling and upside of a Dylan Lucas at the moment? No, he does not. But again, it's clearly a more defensive-based decision. We just want to shore up that edge once more. We can't be leaking the points like we did in the fashion that we did against the West Tigers because, as I said, the Roosters team, they got the star power to do it. If they start clicking and they get a sniff and there's a little bit of blood in the water, they're going to pounce. They got the talent to do that. So I completely understand there. Jermaine McEwen, loving what we're getting from Jermaine. He picked up my 2 points in the Paycat Night of Players of the Week. Just the physicality he's bringing. He's just, I cannot wait to see how good this guy is come to the end of the year. He's just going to be a guy, as I keep saying it, leveling up. He's going to have to stand up. He's going to really have to stand up, particularly in the absence of Dylan Lucas. He's going to be the strike back rower for us this week. Disappointing game by Trey and JSAF last week after the Tigers just completely and utterly dominated us. You know, there was no platform set, no go forward, no momentum, nothing. We couldn't turn the tide. So it's really important for those two guys this week. Immediately, the first 10 minutes of this game are so critically important. I'm sure the coaching staff have tripled down on that this week at training. To go, look what happened, boys. The first 10, 15 minutes, you're already down 3 tries, and we're just chasing at that point. We can't go in like that. We absolutely cannot. We've got to set that tone well and truly early and set the standard for our team because the standard's good. You know, we know we can do it. So really important, those two boys. Continue what they've done before against a quality Roosters forward pack. Not much I really want to talk about with the Roosters, to be honest. White and Lindsay Smith, quality forward pack. So our boys got their job cut out for them once more. Let's move across to the bench for the Newcastle Knights. Harrison Graham, good to see him in that 14 jersey once more with Pasami Solo. Cody Hopwood, he'll be coming off the bench too with Francis Manulailua. And come on, Cow! He finally on the bench once more. I know a few of you will be getting fucking around that. Our boy Kyle McCarthy and Peter Holler potentially making his debut for the Newcastle Knights. This is the shitty part about the 6-man bench because you just don't know. Like you might know if it's going to happen or not, but we picked him up from the North Devils. He was like one of the first off-season signings, if I remember correctly, Peter Holler. So obviously he's doing some things in Cup. Obviously with Tyson Frizzell being absent as well. So there's a spot there for him to jump up. Moving across to the Roosters, Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Nat Butcher, Fiketti, Cody Ramsey, and Tommy Talau. Did I see that Tommy Talau and Jess Surgis got engaged? Am I imagining that?
I did not see that.
I'm pretty sure they did. So if they didn't, I'm very embarrassed about that, but I'm pretty sure they did. Anyways, Connor Watson off the bench, scary stuff. Scary stuff. Look, he never sort of. He had glimpses with us, little flashes in the pan with us, but certainly since he's gone to the Roosters, he's taken his game to another level. Being Origin representative player. We had a voicemail, someone asking us, would we have him back at the Knights? Look, respectfully, with the way our roster is at the moment, and his salary would be considerably larger than when he played for us last. Like, as soon as you got that Origin debut, that price tag is going to go well up. And with some 2 new teams getting around the mix, I'm sure that price is going to be a little bit more inflated. And they're going to want a quality player like Connor Watson. So, yeah, him coming off the bench is scary stuff. Very crafty player, obviously offers huge utility value. But like our boy Harrison Graham, I know the game script last week certainly didn't suit him. Once we get that, if we've got a bit of momentum and we're winning the ruck, and the boys are setting that platform down, holy shit, Harrison Graham coming on is electric. So let's hope we see a bit of that. I missed that from last week because he is a player that thrives. Once we're winning that middle, I love, how many times, the couple of times that we've seen Justin Holbrook pull the trigger and get him off the bench has just been a masterstroke. Comes on and makes a big difference. So let's hope we're winning the middle. Maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes before halftime, interject Harrison Graham, bang, bang, get some tries, baby. Be beautiful stuff.
I just searched it, 5 days ago. They just got engaged.
It was. Yeah, there you go. I wasn't making it up. I swear I saw something about that. So congratulations to the future Talaus. But yeah, obviously Spencer Leniu, scary stuff. We all know, we've all seen the scenes from him in Origin football. Absolute fucking maniac. I loved him in the Blues. I'm not going to love him this week. So yeah, our benches, they've got a really good bench rotation. Nat Butcher, kind of no frills, forward there. That's just going to give you a job, do your job there. But, big bench for the Roosters, but, we do have a young bench. We do have a very, Harrison Graham, Pasami Solo, not a huge amount of NRL games. Cody Hopwood, still very, very green. Francis Manilelua. A very inexperienced bench compared to the likes of, say, Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Nat Butcher. Bunch of NRL experience there. So is a youngish kind of team. So we're going to have to be leaning on our leaders more so to set the tone. We can't expect these younger guys to do that. Got to make sure that JSAF and co are really stepping up, particularly with the absence of Tyson Frizzell, he's played some really good football. He's got a bit of the Dane Gaggais about him at the moment, winding back the clock. He's going to be a big loss. So between Pasami or Cody Hopwood, one of these boys is going to have to stand up and have a really, really solid game in his absence. So there you go, Battlers. They're the teams that that Justin Holbrook and that have named.
I might play a voicemail from Hainsey.
Oh, our mate Hainsey.
What's going on, Battlers? Hainsey here. Now, big game this week, Chooks and the Knights. Legend has it is the BJ Leilua, SKD, Aiden Guerrero, Connor Watson, Mitchell Pearce, Dom Young, Sam Smith Cup, even the Glenn Hall Cup. But we all know that this weekend it is the Hainsey Lincoln Cup. Looking forward to a big game again, the Chooks and the Knights. Look, obviously I wasn't born till 2002, but Lincoln, you could speak up for me on this one. But I always got that feeling that the Knights and the Roosters was a rivalry that was slept on in the late 90s. I think there was some classic final games at I think one at Marathon Stadium where we beat you. I'm guessing 98. And obviously the famous 2000 prelim final, Joey v Freddie at the peak of their powers.
Yeah.
Obviously Joey dominated the first half, then Freddie capitalised in the second half, and Chooks got into their first grand final since 1975. And obviously, 2001, I think you flogged us in the semi-final. 2002, we beat you in the semi-final. So, and obviously there's been some classic games in our time in that. So I just felt like I wanted to touch that one on as well. But my prediction for this one, look, Newcastle, they're going well at the moment. Tough loss last week, but they bounce back required. I just think, though, that there's too many out for the Newcastle this week. I hope it's a close game, but I can't see that going that way. Not trying to be cocky, but the Roosters 30-10. Much love, boys.
Oh, 30-10. What the hell?
Not trying to be cocky.
The disrespect. The absolute disrespect. He's a rugby league encyclopedia. The bloke wasn't even alive, and he's just we did the new shout out Hainsey, part of the New South Wales Blues stream team. He did that with me. He was here for He was here for all 3 Ashes games, wasn't he?
That was the best time.
That was fucking so. Oh no, he missed
So
one of them,
fun.
but fuck yeah, that was hilarious.
He's only born in 2002.
I know, right?
It's
I
crazy.
know. He hasn't even been alive to witness a Newcastle Knights premiership. Fuck. Yeah, man, that was so fun. I still piss myself laughing.
Often, man.
Of our banter over Dom Young. That was so fucking funny. So funny when he fumbled the ball a few times, like, oh, he's playing like a rooster. He's just losing his shit. Yeah, seriously, good
you
times.
Don't know what you're doing.
Don't know what you're doing. Yeah, love you, Hainsey. Good bloke. Got to get him around again. Got to get him around. I know he's going down to this game, but it would have been good to have him in here for a night's watch. And I tried to get Retro in here too, but he's in Darwin, so it just didn't work out. I was trying to get a Rooster supporter in here with me. But anyways, we did have a really, really strong rivalry that kind of got slept on. And unfortunately, statistically, the Newcastle Knights have met their demise at the hands of the Roosters than any other club. You guys are a little bit of our kryptonite. You guys have ended our season more times than in finals than we have to you. And yeah, nothing epitomizes it more than that 2000s game. That stings. That one fucking stung, because you go asking a lot of the OGs around that time, they will tell you the 2000 side was the better of the two. I know we got the job done the very next year. Warren Ryan leaves the club. Michael Hagan comes in and wins that premiership in the inaugural year. But yeah, that was a stacked side, and we should have got the job done. And there's a universe where we beat the Roosters and then we go on and beat the Broncos, and that would just make my life fucking so goddamn good. Because I think we were, even though that Broncos team from 98 to 2000 was stacked, I think we get him. It was just some of that. It was just our indefensive style of Warren Ryan. And you go back and listen to some of the commentary around that. The Roosters just read it like a book. We shut them down so well in the first half. But as soon as they realised our defensive system and they got the ball out wide too quickly, we were fucked. And it just burned us. And yeah, that image of Joey Johns throwing the mouth guard into the ground, it was just one that got away. But anyways, mate, yeah, God, you got a fucking good memory for that stuff, Hainsey. I struggle to remember a lot of that stuff, mate, but you just fucking rattle it off like nothing, my man. So now, look, something I glanced over when we were talking about the rosters. We're going to do it right now. We're going to take a look at this week's player battle matchup brought to you by our good mates at the Metal Man, because with every victory and every win deserves a medal. At the Metal Man, they specialize in high-quality custom medals and awards from sporting clubs with competitive pricing, fast turnaround, and friendly local service. From junior carnivals to grand finals, they will recognize every single achievement in style. The Metal Man, where every win deserves recognition. And as I said, these are the guys. They do plenty of awards for rugby league clubs. They're the ones that manufacture, that make. It comes from them. The Danny Badiris medal. All right. If you want the high, one more high quality do you want than that, go to the top, baby. Can't wait to do some content with those guys.
Yeah, really excited to do that.
Oh, next time we're down in Newey, we couldn't squeeze it in this time, but we have something so fucking cool planned with these guys. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's going to be awesome stuff. All right. This week I've got Dylan Brown up against Daly Cherry Evans. The two big dogs. I know that Cherry Evans has got the 6 on his back. Dylan Brown's got the 7. We're going to forget that for a moment. But yeah, this is going to be a good battle. Obviously, Dylan Brown coming back for us is going to be massive. And let's be honest, if any of these guys play at anywhere near 10 out of 10, it's going to go a long way for their rugby league football team to score some points. And I think I can feel it. I can smell it. I can sense it. Dylan Brown is going to come out and he's going to just light the world on fire. We saw it at the Pac Championships. We saw it in Vegas. We saw it against an absolutely busted Manly team. And you know what? I've got extra motivation for wanting to see him succeed. Just seeing Parramatta flounder at the moment and the amount of shit that I copped. If I showed you the DMs that I got, and probably still get, I don't even read them all, from salty, butthurt Parramatta supporters whenever I'm glazing our boy publicly, Dylan Brown, it's so fucking good. So for him to come out and absolutely ace it while Mitch Moses and the Parramatta Eels continue to splutter would be fucking awesome. So this is going to be my player battle matchup this week. So keep an eye on these two boys. Let's segue that right in to lock it in, baby. Let's go.
It's time to lock it in. It's time to lock it in.
All right, if you haven't done so, battlers, start firing in your lock it in predictions for this game, because lock it in is brought to you by our good mates at Grain Fed Brewery. The beer brewed tough, just like your game day calls. Whether you're backing in the boys for a big win or predicting a masterclass from your favorite player, make sure you lock it in with Grain Fed. The game day lager in particular, absolutely fucking elite. Seriously, this paired with a bit of beach jerky cannot go wrong. Good stuff. All right, while you guys are typing in your lock-in predictions, here are mine. I've got Dominic Young for a double. He's just going to light it up. We got the Bondi Revenge, shall we call it, the revenge tour for Dominic Young. He's going to bag a double. I've got Dylan Brand for at least 2 try assists. Lock that stuff up. I've got 8 line breaks for the Newcastle Knights, running for 1,900 run meters. Knights 1 to 12, baby. Respectfully to the Roosters. I'm not going to say 13 plus. It's going to be a 1 to 12 affair. And I've got a scoring first. Going to start nice, hot, and fast start for the Newcastle Knights. Lock it in. Let's go. All right, what else we got, Lou? Hit me. All right. James Peacock. Sharpe burns Teddy for a try. Yes. Very similar. Do you remember those scenes? Kalen Ponga in the in goal absolutely breaks James Tedesco's ankles. Kind of those sort of areas, right? I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
Apologies if comments are coming through late. I think there's a delay. Your computer decided to nearly start and do a update again. So sorry, battlers, if your comments aren't coming through in time. But Christopher's got this one. Get that out, Lincoln.
All right, Chris. All right, Sharpe 2 tries. All righty. He's got Rob Toya, anytime try scorer. Respectfully, I hope that doesn't happen, mate. Let's hope that left edge is steely as hell and Leaguey doesn't get his wish. He's got the Knights 9 to 10 offloads, bit of second phase play there. Roosters 15 to 16 errors. Loving that. That'd be a little bit on brand for the Roosters for 2026. So I'll take that. Thank you. Knights 1 to 12. Knights to win both halves. Love it. Christopher, a bit of confidence. He's obviously buying whatever Justin Holbrook's selling for sure. LeBron James, he's got Dom for a double. Great minds think alike, mate. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. Nathan Moore, first try scorer. Tommy can't. Who says Tommy can't score? Of course he can. The middle from the 15-meter line. Very specific. I'll be remembering that, Nathan Moore. If I see Tommy can't score in the middle from 15 meters out, your name will be in my head, pal. Good, lock it in. Justin, all right. Sharpe double. A Brown 40-20. I like that. It's something we've missed is the monster boot of Dylan Brown. I'm liking that. I can very much see that happen. Nice to have a completion between 80 and 85%. That is going to be an absolute must if we're going to win this game. 2,000 plus run meters for the Knights. Knights score first. They're going to score last, and he's got him for 13 plus. Holy shit, Justin. He is certainly buying whatever Justin Holbrook's selling. Good stuff, brother. Tompy, all right. Dominic Young, anytime try scorer. Yes, great minds think alike. Sharpe 2 as well. Everyone's thinking there's a bit of blood in the water with Fletcher Sharpe at fullback. Okay. Knights 12 to 13 offloads, 5 to 6 line breaks. Knights to score last. Knights to score in the last 5 minutes. Let's hope it's that kind of game. If that is to be the case, it's just the clutch to snatch victory at the hands of the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. All right, and then I can laugh at Retro, Leaguey, and Hainsey. That'd be awesome. Knights 10 plus, oddly specific. Good stuff. Carvin, good stuff. Mike, Radley or Spencer to be sin binned. Good call. Out of all the players, you're probably right. They are probably the highest probability to get sin binned. Like that one very much. Marzu over 200 run meters. Yeah, he's going to keep killing it, mate. He was copping a lot last week. He's going to want a big bounce back game after just being caught out on that left edge so much. So I'm with you, dude. Sharpe try, Gagai try, Young try, Jace have to dominate. Newcastle 1 to 12. What a beautiful lock it in, Mike. That is poetry, mate. All right, couple more. What do we got? Nathan, Cody Hopwood to make a statement this game from the bench. Watch out for the beautiful unit. That's a really good point. He's been solid without sort of lighting the world on fire. This could be the game. This could be like kind of what we saw from Pastrami against the Bulldogs, where he just came off the bench and just fucking lit the world up. Let's hope we get a bit of that from Cody Hopwood, because he gets compared to the bloke over my shoulder here, the Chief, unfairly. Unfairly. I think, as great as it is to be praised and be a likened to an absolute legend, it's a little bit unfair to put that expectation, those lofty expectations, on a young player. But great guy. Met him over in Vegas. Funnily enough, wasn't allowed to drink. He was too young to drink. I completely forgot the drinking age over there is 21. So he's got plenty of winters in him, this young guy. Let's hope he just rips and tears. He just looks like a Knights player, doesn't he? He just got that Knights vibe about him, our boy Cody Hopwood. So I'm with you, mate. Let's hope he rips and tears this week. He's going to need to. Is that it? Have I covered them all? Everyone's locked shit up. Last one. Brenton, Tommy gets a meat pie. Dom and Greg over 200. Fuck, that's poetry, mate. They will. 200, mate, they do that in their sleep nowadays, those two boys. Good stuff, guys. Beautiful lock-it-ins, an air of confidence. Forget those horrible voicemails that we played earlier. Clearly you're not listening to whatever they're buying. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's do it. Let's answer some burning questions.
Burning questions.
All right, first up, we've got a voicemail from Josh.
Josh. All right, what do we got?
Link Lou Battlers. There we go. I'm actually quite excited to see Sharpe back at fullback this week. I reckon he's support play. 2 meat pies, 100% put it down. I got a question, just a future question. Doing my first Magic round this year.
Oh, nice.
Just wondering if we're going to organise like a Knights hub pub, just a little catch up somewhere we can take over before the game on the Sunday. So, love the show. All the best. Have a good one.
On you, Josh. Love it, mate. Yeah, don't sleep on Fletcher Sharpe support play, mate. I'm with you. Now, this is something I've actually been thinking about quite a bit. Shout out to the Joel at League of Inches. He's got a really good contact at the Caxton Street Brewing Co., which I have had the pleasure of doing a little bit of work with. We did the Game 3 experience, the New South Wales Blues Stream team. Nick Davis, Retro, myself, Joel went along, and unfortunately we witnessed New South Wales losing not only the game, the series. But yeah, we did a post-match show breaking down that game and series. I'm going to do my best because I do want to offer that. I see what the Raiders and the Wars, they probably do it the best. They take over the Lord Alfred and it looks fucking sick. So leave it with me. It's something I really do want to do. I want to give us an area to congregate, fucking make it all red and blue and stuff. So I've got an inmate with the Caxton Street Brewing Co. So let me do my work. All right, let me wield my star power and my influencer profession and see if I can get something done for you guys, because I think it'd be pretty cool. I know we're certainly going to be doing a lot of content around there. We're going to be doing a huge creator live stream event. There's going to be so much going on. Like, Lou is seriously going to be so incredible. I'm going to be so drunk and in front of the camera, and Lou's going to be just editing fucking hours of footage. You reckon Vegas was big? Magic round's gonna be enormous. So good stuff. And if you're half thinking, do I want to go to Magic Round? Is it worth it? I'm fucking telling you, it is worth it. It is insane. It is so goddamn good. It's the best. And then, you know what? Everyone's just in a good mood. It's seriously just the best vibe. The best vibe ever. So
It's funny you say that, because everyone's like, how does Link get to go to Vegas and you stay home? But I had my eyes set down at Magic Round already.
yeah, you did. Well, it really is like probably the biggest like content, because everyone's there. Like you go down to Caxton Street, and it's kind of like for all of us creators, it's a really cool opportunity for all us to catch up. Obviously, we collaborate on things and DM and whatnot, but it's the one time of the year where everyone comes in, everyone's there shooting content, doing that thing, but it's cool for us to all catch up and have a beer and a yarn and all that sort of stuff too. So from our perspective, that's why it's cool for us. But yeah, it's just an enormous, and just jam-packed. The whole weekend is phenomenal. It's awesome. To kick it off with Women's Origin right through the Sunday, it's just dope. So
Justin said, shout out to Lyra on the awesome TikTok reel she's been doing lately. I think what I'm doing is trying to build my confidence because I know Magic Round is going to be like massive. So we're going to be doing lots of content, your content and my content.
There's going to be so much. It's going to be good. Good time. So, but yeah,
Thanks,
going back to that
Justin.
question, stay tuned. I'll be working on something. Don't worry.
Christopher asked, which 3 past or current Knights players would you climb Mount Everest with?
Oh, fuck. I'm loving these ones. All right. The climb Mount Everest with. Past or current. Well, my first one off the top of my head, I'm going to go with the Chief. Because you just know, even if I physically could not make it to the summit, to the peak, this man over my shoulder here, he would pick you up. He'd be better than a Sherpa. Not only would he carry your shit, he would carry you. He's like, I am not letting you not get to the top. And likewise, if you couldn't get down, he'd find a way to get you down. He'd inspire you to do that. So he'd be my first one. Okay, that's number 1. Who would I go number 2? Two. You know what? Give me Dylan Brown. He's going to be around for 10 years. I want a bit of life experience with the guy. We're going to bond together. We're going to be doing this for a while. Where are we? What's the Night going to be in 10 years? I'm sure we're going to be interviewing plenty of players. We're going to be in the Night sphere sooner rather than later. So
You'll be close to 50.
I will be close. Fuck. I don't look at though, do I, Battlers? But no, give me Dylan Brown. We're going to get a little bit of life experience together. We're going to be talking about some stuff. We're going to talk about the future premierships that are coming. And number 3, give me, you know what? Give me Maddie, because it's going to be a fucking tough slog, and you're just gonna want a bit of humor. When you pull up and have a bit of a campfire, you're gonna want someone to spin some yarns and take your mind off the fact that your fucking toes have gone to frostbite. You can't feel your nose anymore. What do they call it? The death zone? Is that when you pass that point when your body literally starts dying because the oxygen levels are fucked up and you're not meant to be that high and the rest of it?
Yeah,
So
altitude.
I want Matty Jones in the death zone. Put it that way. So keep our spirits up. I think those 3, we come down, we've got some yarns to tell, and we get the job done. So yeah, fucking oath. Lock those in for me. You got 3 off the top of your head?
I'd go.
What about 3 of the girls?
I definitely have Yazzie.
Yeah, just leadership. She just lead the way.
I know. Oh, not a Knight anymore.
Who?
I'm gonna say Caitlin.
Well, maybe not. Watch this space. Heard a bit of mail. Anyways, hope I didn't let anything too slip. You didn't hear it here. Anyways,
I'll go the men. So I'll go G-Train, Dom,
yeah.
and Brady.
Yeah, Greg could just run up that. He just plow up that thing. And you say Dom?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would the braids and the dready survive? They might just snap off.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they probably would.
Cool
runnings.
Cool runnings.
Yeah. Good answer. Great question. I love hypotheticals. Keep them coming.
Alrighty. Zach's asked, are you happy with the signing of Nia
Corey? Yep.
Corey. I was practicing that all yesterday, wasn't I? And how do you think he adds value to the newly built Knights system?
Shout out Zach Bruv, WA supporter. We know we love you guys over there. So kia ora to all the WA supporters tuning in. I think this is a win-win. Obviously, you guys you're just stacked at the moment. You got a stacked roster. You got some just young throbbers coming through. You got to make way for them, right? Nia Corey coming to your club. What was that? 3 or so years ago from the Eels. I think it's a time. Yeah, I think it's time he's moved on. Gives you guys another top 30 spot. Comes us. I like it. I haven't heard the dollar amount. I hope we haven't broken the bank. I know there's a lot of people that are a bit concerned. Nia Corey might be coming in because we might lose Jermaine or Dylan Lucas. I can't see that happening. I think Nia Corey is just coming in to fill that spot by Tyson Frizzell. I think it's not a like for like. That's the wrong term, but you get what I'm saying. Like that's what he's been brought in there to do. I think he's a very similar type player to Tyson Frizzell, and I'm not against it at all. I think it's a good signing. So 3 years, bring it on. Looking forward to it.
Blake's asked, don't you think Sandon should stay 7 and Brown 6?
Oh, no, I think because that was the big debate all off season, wasn't it? Like if there was one thing on the lips of just about any NRL pundit, yet alone Knight supporters, it was who are the Knights, who's 6, who's 7. And I think once Justin Holbrook named Dylan Brown at 7 for the Newcastle Knights in Vegas, we just knew, all right, this is the future plan. It's gonna be Dylan Brown is going to be the 7 for the Newcastle Knights for the next 10 years. I cannot see that changing, to be completely honest with you. Particularly when in an ideal situation, Fletcher Sharpe is going to be pairing up with him. Even though, you guys know publicly, I probably said it more than anyone, I think that Fletch could play 7. I think he's just naturally a gifted athlete. I think he could do a job there. It developed really well into a 7. But, Justin Holbrook clearly shown his hand and gone, nah, that's where we're going to play him. And, I'm not against it whatsoever. I think he'll do a phenomenal job. Can you imagine the damage he would have done? Because, a lot of people apparently, and a lot of Parramatta supporters, these salty bastards, were saying, oh, he only did what he did to the pack champs because he had a forward pack that was dominating and blah, blah, blah. I get that. But, geez, could you imagine what he was doing against the Raiders and the Bulldogs when our pack was absolutely dominating theirs? So he's got a pack that can do it. They're capable of doing it. No, last week wasn't great, but looking forward to it. Going to be so good having Dill back. I cannot wait for the Knights watch to see Dylan run around.
Tompy asked, do we know what Hunt defense is like as a centre?
It's funny you mention that, Tompy. I was trying to rattle my brain is to remember Fletcher Hunt playing a bit of centre. I don't recall it. I remember wing, but I don't remember centre. He must have clearly. I think what I was saying before, maybe Justin Holbrook, there's no reason Fletcher Hunt hasn't done anything wrong to be dropped. I know there's some guys in front of him when we're fully fit, but at the moment, I think it wouldn't be right to drop him from the team outright to put a specialist centre in there. So, he must be doing the right things, Fletcher Hunt. So, this will be huge for him. If he comes in and plays really well at centre, well, geez, it's going to be a real, there's going to be a path for him next year if Dane Gagai isn't re-signed with the club, which I'm now 50-50 on, given how well he's continued to play. But if that does happen and Dane does hang up the boots and there's a spot there in the right centre, he's in the box seat. If he kills it in the next couple of weeks, while Brady's out and KP's to come back and whatnot, going to be interesting. So obviously Justin Holbrook's got faith in him. So
Answer this one again, because we got a whole heap of questions of this when we were in Newey. Jeff Lee asked, Link, whereabouts in Newey are you? I grew up in Mayfield and Charleston.
Whereabouts in Newey are you? What do you mean, like right now?
Yes.
I'm not in Newey. All right. So I get asked this a lot. And I'm sorry. A lot of people have heard this. Some people haven't. So, grab your jaws because I'm not in Newcastle. And to be honest, I think I'm too famous to live in Newcastle now, Lou. I don't think I could handle the paparazzi. I just want to live a quiet life Monday to Friday. Shout out to, I know he'd be listening actually. I was doing some shopping down at Coles here. Shout out to the Batloo, tapped me on the shoulder and he goes, are you Link? I said, fucking oath, I'm Link. So I'm sorry, mate. I didn't catch your name, but the big handsome bastard came up and said hello. So I appreciate that. So even in Southeast Queensland, which I am based in, up here in Ipswich, so no, we're not in Newey, mate. We're not. Lou, after spending all of about 2 hours in Newcastle, was already looking at real estate there. I can tell you that much. But someone did ask, we did have a little bit of a chat. Someone did ask us about, I can't remember how we got on the subject about would we ever come down and all this, live there. But yeah, look, obviously our grand plan, what we would love to do full time is nothing but this, to provide Newcastle Knights content, rugby league content, would be our absolute dream. And if that meant moving to Newcastle and doing some stuff there, we would do it. We would do it. All our families up here, but if that's what it meant, for us to do this, we would probably do it. So who knows? Who knows what the next year holds, the year after. You know, we're doing everything we can to level up. Lou's obviously come on board doing full-time producing and all the content stuff, and which is exciting. And, you know, everything's tracking the right way for us. And so who knows, battlers? Who knows where we're going to be? Because as you know, I did a great episode with Scotty on his Moneyball podcast. The social media space and creator space, particularly in rugby league, which is the best. AFL just don't have what rugby league have. They're not even fucking close. Rugby league content creators are the best in the country. They just kill it. There's some just absolute fucking legends. Such a great community to be a part of. So yeah, it's a growing space. The NRL realised that. I had some good conversations with them when they got me down last year. So who knows, mate? Who knows what could happen? So it's exciting times for us. We just got to keep working hard. It's a lot of hard work, but we fucking love it. And we're not going anywhere. So
Brenton said the house next door to me is up for sale and has room for the United
That would be that would be a hard part, is leaving. Like, I know I obviously take all this with me, but to redecorate like a United bar 2.0, well, it probably ideally we have a bar, but we'd want a studio too. So we're at the moment, this works. I know it's a bit of work. We bring sets in and the cameras move and the lighting and all that stuff. We make that work. So it kind of serves two purposes that way. But there you go. You watch. Now we're going to start getting people fucking sending us houses.
Yep.
Hey, have a look at this one, guys. Have a look at this one. What do you think?
Room for the shed out the back.
Fucking, they are. I can see it now. We're going to get DMs. People are sending us fucking houses for sale in Newcastle. So
don't tempt me with a good time. Last one.
All right.
Justin asks, will we see a change in the way the disruptor penalties are applied this weekend?
We will. The NRL did come out, because obviously that was another huge controversy. I didn't really want to touch on it this show because everyone else was sort of having their piece on it. It has taken the piss. Like, some of the penalties that we've been seeing, it's just a fucking joke. And a lot of people can't make sense of it. And, you know, even some of the people in commentary and, you know, ex-players who offer expert analysis couldn't really definitively say anymore what warranted a penalty or what not. It was just so wishy-washy. Now, they did say, look, it's not going anywhere. But however, they're kind of winding back. What's the word? Like, I guess they're reevaluating and winding back the penalties on it, because I think they were just getting a bit too gun-ho on them. But it's weird. It's a weird rule because no one kind of asked for it. It was a funny sort of thing to come out of nowhere, this disruptor one. Like, I don't understand. If you're like a $1 million, like, put it this way, if Kalen Ponga, you're paying him over $1 million a year, I expect him to catch a ball regardless. And, you know, if someone can put a hand, and disrupt him, well, fair game as far as I'm concerned. I don't understand that. You're paid to catch the ball. That's just what you got to do. But anyways, they have said they're winding it back. I still can't make sense of what the fuck it is, but let's hope it's cleaned up, because it's certainly been a bit of a blight to start 26. So let's hope that's sorted out. That's typical rugby league though, right? They fucking double down on something, and then before you know it, they've wound it back a bit. So at least we're on brand there. So good stuff, battlers. Good stuff. Good episode. Thoroughly enjoyed that, apart from the horrible predictions by good friends Leagy and Hainsey. So if you haven't done so already, make sure, shout out to Leagy. If you've been hiding under a rock, go look him up. Doing some great work with Den and Kemp and the guys at Bloke. Killing it. Go follow his YouTube channel. Guy's got a bit of a law background, so he's got a bit of a different angle to rugby league content. It's seriously good stuff. He knows his shit, Leagy. Good dude. So get around his content. And Hainsey the Matt, you know fucking Hainsey. He's been on this stream. He's been in the bar. He's drunk fucking free beer out of my fridge. You know him. You love him. You know what he's about. So make sure you go give those guys some love. Go support some fellow rugby league content creators. So yeah, that's your like and subscribe. All right. Anyways, battlers, we are getting the Adam O'Brien out of here. Make sure you tune in for the Knights Watch, coming to you live from about 1:30-ish, 1:45. Sunday afternoon as we look forward to our clash against the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. We will see you guys then.